Welcome. It's Hair by Connie here. We're actually 2 minutes early. I'm recording on my Facebook and on my Instagram. So welcome you guys. Thank you guys for joining. We are really having a very fiery moment right now in the nation. I have my chakra music playing. I'm using it in meditation to just help me stay focused, stay positive, but also stay alert and be safe. And so if you're here with me today, thank you so much for joining, and thank you so much for being here. And you know, it's always a blessing to be alive, especially with what's going on today. So first of all, we definitely want to say thank you to all of the peaceful protesters who have been fighting peacefully, using your voices, white, black, everything in between, for the injustices that we know happen to people of color every single day in the world. You know, it's not just the US, it's everywhere. So I just want to take 10 seconds, if we will, for those people who are on the front lines marching, and the people who were slain and were murdered. I mean, this is so many years in the making to get to this point. So let's just take 10 seconds, moment of silence. Okay, thank you guys so much. So again, I'm Stephanie, and I'm the founder, owner of Hair by Connie. We are a hair sourcing company that creates sustainable hair tools for kinky, curly hair. I feel like there's a piece of hair in my eye or on my face. So anyway, black owned business. So that goes without saying. We definitely try to empower the community. I'm always posting beautiful, positive black and brown faces. And within the hair community, there's also discrimination. You can check out our blog, our kinky curly blog, at www.hairbyconnie.com, where we do talk about the inadequacies in terms of black actors, actresses, specifically women, not having people, stylists, who know how to deal with our hair. They don't have the proper hair tools. They're not experienced. So a lot of people have spoken up and out about, you know, having to do their own hair, bring their own tools, bring their own eco styler, everything. So I definitely want to help use my platform, my creativity to design and help for that lack. But also this month, we're going to be going live with some black owned hair care companies that design hair tools for black hair. And right now, everybody's assignment, right, is to do your own homework. You know, do your own homework on racial injustice and other cultures, and know what you can do more to be inclusive. So I'm doing my homework, especially within the hair industry, because black hair is just nothing like it. So, you know, I have to make sure that I have a voice for my hair, and that I'm doing something positive in the community for that. And so I can't wait to go live and, you know, present that to you as well. So today's video is about the truth about hair vendors. Not every vendor is a manufacturer, but usually all manufacturers vend, whether it's wholesale or retail. And I know, being in the hair community, I definitely help people with hair tips, how to manage your natural hair. I give them, you know, more insight about hair extensions in terms of what characteristics and qualities should really good hair have, and I help them, you know, purchase some of this hair, sometimes customize some of this hair. And a lot of people, I will say, have asked me for vendors before, or I go onto hair groups and I have discussions with women who say, oh, I just need to find a good hair vendor. I need to find a good hair vendor. And you'll also see people selling their vendor lists. And, you know, there's good and there's bad to that. The good part, okay, that can give you a list of references that you can call, but that still doesn't really tell you whether this is someone that you should trust or you shouldn't trust. Because very many times, especially doing business in China and Southeast Asia, going to these factories, sourcing the hair, I noticed that there's one manufacturer, one company that owns several vendors, several stores. So a vendor is, just layman terms, is a reseller. But sometimes a factory can have a store, right, where they vend, where they sell their items. And then sometimes it's just another person reselling the hair, which both are not bad, but both can be bad. You know, if you don't know exactly, if you don't test, if you don't try, how are you to know? And so I see a lot of times people just buying these vendor books and going by one. I don't know what people are thinking. I don't know if they're thinking, oh, hey, you know, maybe these are all good, maybe these are not all good. But I remember seeing a video way back before I started my business, and the lady was saying, you know, I used to sell my vendor list, but do you think I was giving you my top vendors? No. Do you think I was giving you more good vendors than bad? No, because I don't want you to be my competition. So, you know, business is very competitive, and a lot of times people get sold a lot of things. And I mean, with business, you have to try somewhere before you buy. So you have to keep that in mind when you are buying these vendor lists. One, a lot of times the people selling these lists, they have no relationship with these vendors. They just maybe went to Alibaba or AliExpress or Made in India, and they started writing down names, addresses, and everything else. That's easy. You know, you don't have to buy that. You can just go to these websites and you can talk to them yourself without, again, knowing if they're good and if they're bad. There have been times when, depending on the market, I've seen one factory sell one type of quality of hair to one person versus another type of quality of hair to another person. Case in point, I'll use me for example. I have been going to the markets for some while, and I went to the hair and beauty market in Guangzhou, and one of the store owners thought that I was from Africa. Now, yes, I'm Nigerian American. I rep Africa till I die. However, that wasn't my main market, and I was born from America, came to China from America, so I was trying to buy hair for my American clientele. Now, he then started to show me certain types of hair, and the hair quality was not as great. So just a little history, just a little knowledge between the two markets. The American market is one of the largest economies in the world right now. And so, you know, if you know, there's an American tax on a lot of products because America can afford to charge higher prices, whereas countries in Africa cannot. So in those terms, when it came to hair, a lot of the hair that were bought by many Africans and to send to African stores were of lesser quality, cost less. So him just assuming that my market was Africa and I'm buying from Africa for Africa, he gave me a bunch of cheaper quality hair. So if I didn't know anything about hair, I would have just bought the hair and just left, right? Because it all looked good, it was shiny, it seemed to be smooth through my fingers. But knowing hair and knowing, you know, they spray a little thing on the hair so that it can be glossy right before your very eyes, I knew this hair is going to tangle up as soon as I put any moisture on it. If I try to wash it, it's not to be used and reused for a long time wear. So I asked him about that, and then he said, oh, sister, yes, many people in your country, they buy this. I said, what country? And then he said, where are you from? You from Africa? And then I was like, yeah, technically, but no, I'm from the States. He said, oh, okay. You check this hair. Check that other side of hair. And that hair was like more of the caliber that I'm used to, more of the caliber that I know that my clients would want. So me knowing that and having experienced that put me up on game. Like, you can't just trust any vendor, girl. They tried my life, okay? So I knew from then and there, like, you can't just get a book of vendors and say, okay, this is good, this is bad. You still have to try. So when people ask me if I sell vendor lists, my answer immediately is no. Do I sell my contacts? Do I sell? Yes, but I'm selling a relationship. I am matchmaking a relationship. I am putting your business with this manufacturer that I, one, have visited. I know I have patronized them before. I have used their hair. I may have other clients that use this hair that have, this client has given me great testimony on this hair. And on top of that, you are getting that relationship that I have with them. So imagine that you have a friend that wants to meet your other friend. They've never met them before. They just want to get to know them. And if you give that friend an introduction, they're probably going to be more likely to want to get to know your friend because of you, because of the relationship that they have with you. And that's the importance of my business. And that's the importance of having those relationships. And that's what I try to cultivate when I am working with different clients, especially company clients, corporate clients that want to find reputable manufacturers or vendors. So, you know, again, you've probably heard me say this in videos past and maybe in the last live that, you know, if you're just buying something online, you're just anybody. Your money is disposable income for them, and they're not going to really care about the quality that they're giving you. And so I've experienced that firsthand, and just listening to the community of hair companies, people that buy hair, I can see that it doesn't change. And it's not going to change because it doesn't have to change. So that's why I really started my business in the first place, because when a lot of people caught wind that I was in China and I was actually doing this business of consulting, they knew that if they started a project and they couldn't necessarily come into China or enter anywhere in Southeast Asia, I could be the person that could check the quality for them, you know, pull up to the factory, talk, make sure that things were going as the client wanted them to go. So it's the same way with having a vendor list. You know, you're gonna open up a book of about 50 to 70 vendors, and you're not gonna know who is who. You're not gonna know which one ranks highest, which one ranks lowest. And for this woman to say on her live, when she used to sell her vendor list, she's not even giving you her top 5 people, then that just tells me you're just selling names. That's like you getting a free phone book, right? A list, and you individually after that have to do the work. But if you consult with me or someone with my type of integrity in terms of selling contacts, you're selling relationships, you're building businesses, and that's what's important. So they're going to see me as someone that they've worked with before, that they have a relationship with, a stronger relationship with, and they're going to kind of know, like, I'm not going to mess with this person because they have you here, and you can always come see me. And if I don't treat them well, you're probably not going to deal with me anymore either. So that is basically the importance of, you know, working with people who actually have these relationships. But you don't necessarily have to buy vendors list all the time. I mean, in the hair industry, you don't really have to. I mean, lots of people are on social media, they're on Instagram, Facebook. It's just the barrier of knowing whether this factory is good, whether it's not good. And it might take a factory 2 or 3 buys before they really take you seriously. Sometimes it's the amount of money that you spend. I've been pushed to the side when I needed 3 bundles versus somebody that needed like 4 kg of hair, a kilo of hair, about 40 pieces. That was in person. So again, imagine going viral. Everybody is like online, and some people are just fake and phony, you know, as we see every day. So you definitely have to be careful, and you should definitely investigate, ask questions about these vendor lists. Do you have a personal relationship with these people that you're selling me? Have you bought hair from them? Have you talked to them before? My last business consulting meeting, I let the girl know up front, this is the vendor, I can introduce you. They know me, they've seen me. In fact, there's video, there's documented evidence of me in their factory talking to them and, you know, getting that okay on their hair. So if you want to know them, I can introduce you as such. Sometimes people don't want all of that. Sometimes they want to do everything on their own, which is fine, but you know that you can trust the vendor that you're getting with me, or the manufacturer. So again, sometimes the vendor is not a manufacturer. Not all vendors are manufacturers, but a lot of times manufacturers do vends. They do have storefronts, and the factory could be one name, the manufacturer can be one name, and then you'll have a plethora of different hair brands that they sell under. And just from my experience, you know, I always have so many manufacturers in the pocket because, you know, not everybody does colored hair. Not everyone does colored hair well. Some people only focus on natural hair color, you know. Some manufacturers don't do HD lace, and then some, now this is their specialty. So it just depends. And then you might have a trusted vendor or manufacturer, but they don't have enough product to produce for you at the time, so you have to find someone else. So it's always good to have your own list of trusted people that you can go to. Okay, this person doesn't have it, let me move to this person. This person doesn't have it, let me move to this person. Now, just open and honestly, you know, a lot of the hair that I do sell in my company is not Chinese hair. It's coming from other places in Southeast Asia. But most of hair production is done in China. So, you know, with the whole coronavirus scare, so many people were so afraid of it coming from China and this and that. So even without that, when the flights stopped from China, in terms of my hair may not have started there, but it ended there because they needed to produce it there. I needed to have some other Southeast Asian vendors in the pocket. This is a really good tip, especially for those who are wholesaling hair, retailing hair. You need to have your supplies ready in different countries because, you know, we've been in a trade war with China since maybe 2018. So there's been some news going around. I haven't confirmed it, but it's saying that flights coming from China are going to stop. You know, they've already been stopped, but there were some flights that picked up, and now it's about to end. So, you know, I'm thinking airfare that could include products, that could include hair if your hair is being produced there. So it was important to me when I did my Southeast Asian tour to make sure that I had my factories ready and available in the Philippines, in India, in Bangladesh, wherever. it was important to me that I made that happen, because when things weren't going so fresh in China, I was able to pivot, right? Pivoting is important in your business, because sometimes things happen, and I mean, it could be on the market side, in terms of the economy, in terms of production. And so we're seeing with a lot of things, not just hair, but we're seeing within the product industries, production has been slow. You know, everyone was on quarantine for the longest. And then on top of that, where are your raw materials coming from? If they have to be imported or exported for some reason, we're seeing a slowdown in the shipping system. And you know, that took a lot of time, that took a lot of effort. A lot of people lost customers, clients, a lot of people were on hold. So this has really affected a lot of people, whether you were a consumer, whether you were a manufacturer, whether you were somewhere in between. So with that said, yes, you want to have a list of vendors and manufacturers that you can go to, but you have to be sure of what you're getting. And hey, maybe that means trying it with just getting a vendor list and then going through the list, but just be wary. And just be wanting to just know that you are going to have to try to have some relationship with these people, especially if these are Chinese manufacturers. I mean, this is just free game. Like, the relationship, the transaction always went smoother when there was a relationship. Whether we had tea together, whether we went to dinner, whether I would go to the shops and talk and, you know, establish true relationships with people, ask them how business was going, and they would be open about a lot of things. So that was good. Showing my face, talking to the people, being invested in my business meant that I needed to be invested in their business. I really needed to understand. So from there, that's how every transaction went. When I go to the factories, I'm meeting with the boss. I'm meeting with the wife of the boss if the boss ain't there. I met with the kids. Okay, where are we going? We drop you off at soccer practice? Let's roll, you know, because these are really good relationship builders that ultimately help with negotiation, that ultimately help with product quality. And in times like these, people will cut for you, people will help you out. I mean, we should be helping each other out anyway, but you know, that's just human nature. If you have a better relationship with someone, you're probably more apt to help them out than a total stranger. And then sometimes it's the complete opposite. You know, things get a little funny when money's in the mix, but that's a whole nother story. However, I do want to let you know that I don't sell vendor lists, but I do curate relationships. And when you consult with me, I do introduce the idea that you can do it on your own, you know, if you would like. Some people automatically want that, and that's fine. And some people come back like, listen, this wasn't as easy as I thought, depending on what it is. But I think that it's awesome that, hey guys, you know, there are people who do want to take the initiative, be your own entrepreneur, be your own boss, and get through it, get to it. I definitely didn't know as much about hair, where it came from, how it was produced, until I actually started walking the walk. I wasn't just someone wearing hair anymore. I wasn't just someone who got what I saw in the beauty salon. I went and I saw where it was coming from. I saw the girls that were actually donating their hair for money. And that's another thing. I do try to manage and run a conscious company, and it's important to me that the girls who do want to give their hair are getting paid for their hair. They're getting paid fairly, and you know, it's helping them. You know, it's not coming from the temple, you know, someone who didn't even have any intention to sell their hair. They had the intention of sacrificing it for spiritual reasons, and I respect that. So I'm very, very wary and very, very cautious when I am making these transactions, because, you know, energy doesn't end. It just continues and it transfers into different things. So I feel good at the end of the day knowing that I'm working with someone who actually wants to sell their hair for profit, you know. And on top of that, it's been history ever since then. So that's really it about vendor lists, the truth about vendor lists. This wasn't a long video at all. So now I just want to let you guys know that if you want to educate yourselves in terms of what's going on today, there are microaggressions when it comes to Afro hair in the Black community, Black and brown community. So we have a blog post on that, how it's affecting Hollywood. And also we are having our buy one get one half off wig sale, so check it out, www.hairbyconnie.com. And we are also still taking applications for our hair affiliates. So if you guys want to get your hair at a discounted rate and you want us to repost your beautiful photos, definitely sign up for our affiliate program. But much love, light, blessings to you guys. Stay strong, and you can catch me right here every Tuesdays and Thursdays going live on Instagram and Facebook. I'm Stephanie. I love you so much. Thank you so much for supporting, liking, sharing, subscribing, and I hope to see you again soon. Thank you guys so much. Love. Bye-bye.